Good morning and welcome to SimWorld today, Monday, August 12th. The Olympics are officially in our rearview mirror after a pretty exciting closing ceremony to close out 2 weeks of action. We can now all collectively forget the rules to to fencing, to water polo, to archery. Noah Lyles claims to still want to be relevant. We'll see if he manages to pull that one off. I'm Marsh, joined this Monday on our new format by Rick Blaze. Good morning, Rick. How are you?
Hey, Marsh. I see you got your Monday bling going around your neck. I like that. I like that. The Alpha and the Omega is here. Rick Blaze is here for SimWorld TV, and I fell in love over the weekend. So I'm happy to be here, man.
Isn't that just lovely? Rick in
Love is
love
grand.
in
Yes,
August.
absolutely.
Plenty to get to today. We are going to talk a little bit of a Simmerl prep announcement, but we're going to start with our last piece of Olympics conversation, and that was the men winning Team USA gold. That would be a dramatic win over the host nation of France. Steph Curry has a explosion in the fourth quarter to put this one away for the U.S. to win yet another gold. Rick, your thoughts, your takeaways from a gold medal finish for Team USA.
Hey, man, I think they came in and they handled business. You saw the veterans for Team USA show you what it's all about. And with the Steph Curry, KD, and the MVP, LeBron James, who carried the team on his back in several games, and Steph Curry went crazy in the championship game. Uh, I'm, I'm, This is a bittersweet moment for me because I'm excited because the U.S. basketball team won in a very competitive field now in international basketball. But the bitter part about it is because in 2028 there will be no Steph, there'll be no KD, and there'll be no LeBron James. I don't know who the USA team is going to put together for 2028 because LeBron James was, by all intents and purposes, the best facilitator on that team. And he's probably one of the best facilitators overall in the entire NBA league. They got to give a call to my man. What's my man in Dallas? Kyrie.
Kyrie?
They got to start kissing Kyrie's butt, the NBA, really, really soon to make sure he shows up for 2028 because the U.S. basketball team is going to need them in 2028. But great game overall. Shout out to the women who won a nail biter as well.
Yeah, a little bit more dramatic on the women's side of the house to get, I think it's 60 straight, 59 straight wins
Yeah,
now.
60,
But
61, something like that.
a impressive run all the same for them. To the men's side, look, are they going to be? This is the end of an era. It's also, I think, the opening of an era in international hoops. I think with you see this shifting of the top players in the league being more and more international. Obviously, you look at France. Now, granted, this was not a stacked draft class, but what, three of the top 10, I think it was, were French descendants. That's
Hmm.
certainly going to help out with that roster and their contention moving forward. Canada has a really great team now and moving forward. You've got a centerpiece for Germany in Franz Wagner moving forward. I think that's going to make the LA Olympics very interesting. Like we talked about on Friday, I think games that are competitive and where it's unknown are more just entertaining to watch. And I think the FIBA World Cup is more entertaining when the team is for Team USA is not an all NBA roster, but it's rather guys that are good, if not great. Right? I think you're going to see Tyrese Halliburton. You're going to see Jalen Brunson. We already saw Anthony Edwards play a pivotal role. You're probably going to see Jason Tatum actually get playing time. Jaylen Brown will probably finally get on a Olympic roster again. But you're going to be needing some of these younger guys to start stepping up, but I think that's a good thing for basketball because I think when a team walks in and it's just, well, we expect this team to win, people might not get locked in as much, or they might only lock in for the end of it. Rather, I think FIBA rules make the game of basketball very entertaining to watch. And so the more level the playing field, obviously you're still going to root for your home country, whatever that may be. But the more level the playing field, the more entertaining the option. Because otherwise you're sitting there as France, you're saying, well, we're hoping we can contend here. Or you're Serbia and you're feeling like, well, that sucks. That was our only chance at actually winning this or beating this team when we blew it. I think it's just going to be more entertaining when there's a more level field. Not to say that USA still won't be proverbial favorites. They probably will be because that team is still going to be loaded with talent, whether they bring Kyrie in or not. Certainly, there's a track record for him, but hey, it'd be sweet if Kyrie could play for Australia, really to mix things up, though that will not happen. So, Team USA gold, they will look to defend
Australia.
that in LA. What was that, Rick?
Yeah, you just love sending, but you know, a player would defect. Of course, you know your guy, your friend, the one everybody loves. MB's gonna be playing for his other country next in 2028. Watch, I'm telling you now, he's not
He
gonna play
can't.
for USA. He's
He
gonna
can't.
switch sides and he's gonna play for the other country in 2028. That's so a Joel Embiid situation. That guy is, yeah, I don't like him as much as everybody else does.
Well, FIBA rules says that you cannot change teams without official after you've played for a country without a waiver, and I cannot imagine Team USA or FIBA would grant such a waiver. All right, this weekend we saw SWFL preseason make its triumphant return, if you want to call it that. Kicked off on Thursday with a pair of games: the Giants and the Patriots getting wins, and then a full slate on Friday. Rick, do you tune in for preseason football, and if so, what are you watching?
I do. I mean, it's probably the number one sport in America right now. It's been for a while. Football, we can't get enough. We'll take it year in, year out. I tune in for this reason. One, you want to see the veterans, those who get in, to see who's coming in with the first team, to kind of get a picture of maybe who may be starting the season off. Then after that, you want to see a lot of the rookies, a lot of the young guys. For me, who play fantasy football and dynasty football, I like to see. I know a lot of the rookies and a lot of the guys, second string guys on these teams. So I need to see for my fantasy and dynasty teams who's going to get a chance, or who I need to look at to put on my team, a diamond in the rough, so to speak. So there's a myriad of reasons these days to check out football for the preseason, and I'm one of them, baby. Sign me up.
I'm going to be honest, Rick. I do not care about preseason football.
That's because your team
It's
sucks, Marsh.
actually we won. We beat the Chiefs.
No, I'm
So
talking about just overall. I don't mean.
no, we don't suck. We got the sky is the limit. The ceiling is the roof in Jacksonville. Look, I don't really get entertained by it because I just it's like watching some weird un um, unvaluable blend between partially professional but still amateur football. Because, yeah, to your point, it's a great opportunity to see, okay, is there somebody who's really showing out maybe for fantasy? I can understand that. I'm not saying that's the wrong thing. But you're looking around and you're seeing let's see. C.J. Beathard lead the Jags with 125 yards passing. You're seeing
Right.
Martinez lead the Jets with 104. These guys aren't going to be seeing the field unless there's a cataclysmic event with their starting quarterbacks in New York, Jacksonville, or anywhere else
What
you
about the
want to
new
pick.
kickoffs? You didn't tune in to see if someone the kickoff was exciting. I don't care who was back there. Every time the ball was kicked off, there was a chance of someone breaking it. You didn't find that exciting in the preseason either?
I do, but I don't. It doesn't. I don't need to tune into a preseason game. It's still going to be around during the regular season. Preseason football is just not great football because it's guys that are not going to be for the most part. It's guys that are not going to be playing in the league itself. You're watching practice squad guys go out there. What I do really enjoy is Hard Knocks. I enjoy watching Hard Knocks, but I would much rather be tuned in and lock in on Hard Knocks than I would be on the game itself because it's just you kind of know what's going to happen with these games. It's going to be a quick start from somebody. They're going to play for maybe a quarter, maybe a drive, and then they're going to sit, and it's going to be somebody else. We're not going to see C.J. Stroud. We're not going to see Jalen Hurts for the entirety of these games. And while I don't necessarily think I'm the one tuning in, I also, this is going to sound like a weird juxtaposition, don't believe that the league should abandon the preseason in favor of regular season games because there is a needed value for it. It's just I'm not the demographic for it, and I think I'm
Right.
fine with accepting that fact.
And for some fans, that's the only games they can afford to go to. So
Yep,
for some
you get
fans,
very
their
good
game to see
tickets.
their favorite team that year is going to be doing a preseason because it's less expensive than a regular season game. There's less people attending in a regular season game. So there's a bunch of reasons for why preseason is going to stay alive, and I'm here for it.
I am not here to root for the end of the preseason. I just know I'm not the man that's watching it, and I'm not advocating that I have the right opinion at all because I think the preseason should be here. I can't remember if they're 3 to 4 games now in the preseason, but if they try to drop it down to like 2, which I think Goodell has hinted at, I would not think that's a great decision for the league as a whole. Let's head to SimWorld Prep, where we have another tournament announcement on the weekend. Samuel Charles through SB Live announced Bloomington Battlegrounds and Windy City Hoopers. We have news that Hardwood Hustle is also making its debut in SimWorld Prep. It will take place at Liberty Grounds, host team Philadelphia Elite, alongside Gotham 5, Bad Boys Basketball, Lakeshore Drive, Oceania, and the AT Aliens. Hardwood Hustle, the first SimWorld Prep tournament, take place in Pennsylvania.
I'll say this: any team, any tournament right now that features Philadelphia in any shape, form, or fashion is going to be a hot ticket. Philadelphia's the hottest team. I know that sounds weird. We haven't played any games, but just in the off season, Philadelphia is the hottest team, the talk of the town this off season. So any tournament is featuring any of their players, any of their coaches, if it's in their city, if it's featuring their Starbucks, it doesn't really matter. If Philadelphia is somewhere wrapped into this, it's a hot ticket right now.
They are a very, very interesting team. They got some really good talent, and they get to play the host team. They play the host role for Hardwood Hustle. It's going to be entertaining, I am sure of it. We are still waiting on dates. I think that's the one kind of domino left to fall. We've gotten now, this is our 10th tournament announcement, so still waiting on the dates of all these, although we do know it starts at the beginning of October, all of it, and that begins in DC with the Legacy Games. So we'll keep our ear to the ground. I expect to see a flurry of more of these announcements coming in one way, shape, or another, just because we're 3 months away from it, 2 months away from it, excuse me. People are chomping at the bit to get more of it. So we will keep delivering it as is, but we are excited for it. All right, that is our show. Rick, thanks for coming on. It's nice to be able to see you twice in a single week. We will see him again on Friday. And we will appreciate you tuning in. And we'll talk to you tomorrow on SimWorld Today on SimWorld TV, the only place you can see the game, be the game.
Marsh, aka Billy Hoyle. I like it, Marsh. Hat to the back with the chain on. Look good, man.